Imagine signing up to serve your country, only to find yourself questioning the very orders you're given. Is this what you signed up for? That's the bold question plastered on billboards outside two of the nation's largest military bases, Fort Bragg and Camp Lejeune, sparking a conversation that's both urgent and deeply controversial. But here's where it gets even more thought-provoking. These billboards aren't just ads. They're part of a campaign led by veterans, urging troops to think critically about their role in domestic missions, from immigration enforcement to policing. And this is the part most people miss. The campaign offers encrypted resources and legal support for service members who may be grappling with the legality or morality of their orders. The initiative, spearheaded by About Face, Veterans Against the War and Win Without War, comes at a time when the military's involvement in domestic affairs has reached unprecedented levels. Under the Trump administration, troops have been deployed in roles traditionally reserved for law enforcement, often against the wishes of local communities. For instance, 700 Marines and 4,000 National Guardsmen were sent to Los Angeles in June, and over 2,000 troops remain in Washington, D.C. since August. Even more startling, nearly 1,700 National Guard members from 19 states have been authorized to support Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, handling tasks like biometric data collection and logistics. But is this what the military is meant for? Harrison Mann, a former Army major who resigned over the Biden administration's use of military hardware in Israel, argues that troops deserve to know their rights and options. "We want to ensure they understand what they're being asked to do," he says. The billboards direct viewers to a website, Not What You Signed Up For, where service members can access encrypted messaging platforms, legal resources, and experts, including the GI Rights Hotline and the National Lawyers Guild's Military Law Task Force. The campaign has already sparked debate. While some see it as a vital check on government overreach, others, like Pentagon Press Secretary Kingsley Wilson, dismiss it as politically motivated. Wilson labeled Win Without War as not a veterans group and accused it of using Democratic funds for poorly designed graphics. But the core question remains: should troops blindly follow orders, or is it their duty to question actions that may violate their conscience or the law? James M. Branham, a lawyer connected to the campaign, notes a growing divide among troops. Younger service members often express disillusionment, saying, "This is not what I signed up for," while more senior troops feel pressure to keep their head down. Branham emphasizes the risk. Refusing an order, even if unlawful, leaves the service member vulnerable to legal consequences. The military's Manual for Courts-Martial allows defense against unlawful orders, but the burden of proof lies heavily on the individual. Brittany Ramos de Barros, organizing director for About Face, draws from her own experience. After deploying to Afghanistan in 2012, she grew disillusioned with the military's stated mission versus its actions on the ground. The military's purpose is to carry out violence efficiently, she says. Using it for peacekeeping or diplomacy is unrealistic. She sees the deployment of troops in U.S. cities as a continuation of this disconnect, arguing that sending Marines to keep the peace in places like L.A. is inherently contradictory. But is this campaign even legal? A 2014 Supreme Court case involving a protester outside Vandenberg Air Force Base ruled in favor of the military's control over its jurisdiction, even in designated protest zones. Yet the billboards stand, protected by the First Amendment, for now. The debate rages on. Are these efforts to inform troops about their rights a necessary safeguard, or do they undermine military discipline? As Mann puts it, "I don't want a soldier's first thought about unlawful orders to be when they're shouted at in Baltimore or Memphis. We need to start this conversation now. What do you think? Is questioning orders a right, a duty, or a danger? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments.